Welcome to Transistor, the complete story. Now I just got through this incredible game and I just needed to share the tale with you guys. The story opens up with Red kneeling by the body of somebody. Next to her is the Transistor, a great sword of unimaginable power. You see, Red is a singer, probably the greatest voice in all of Cloudbank, and someone came to her latest show and stole her voice by sealing it up in the Transistor. Then they threw the Transistor at her in an attempt to kill her. And a man jumped in the way of that sword. The man protected her from death, and in turn, he died himself. But he's not all dead. He's alive in the sword, and he explains that it looks like the Camerata tried to kill her, and that they should get out of here while they can. As Red and the Transistor travel through Cloudbank, they see the world as being absorbed by something called the Process, and it's even swallowing the citizens of the city by turning them into computer data. The Transistor is able to absorb the data of these people and use them as weapons against the Process, and as Red defeats the minions that the Process is creating, they finally get back to her motorcycle. The Transistor tells her to get out of the city. They can live together in the country somehow. But she ignores him as she drives right back to her former stage in the Gold Walk district. The Process, as it would seem, is being controlled by the Camerata, the same Camerata that tried to have Red killed. And they discover that one of Red's newest friends, Sybil, is actually a Camerata member who is trying to get close to her. But once they find Sybil again, they find that she has also been corrupted by the Process. She's been changed. And so, Red and the Transistor battle it out with Sybil until she's defeated, and they absorb her into the Transistor to get the information they want out of her, the location of the head of the Camerata. As Red gets closer to the organization, the Process becomes very hostile towards her, and it starts to attack and process the entire city. Due to this, Asher Kendrill, one of the members of the Camerata, publicly apologizes for the organization's actions. He even calls and apologizes to Red directly and to the man stuck in the Transistor for what they've done. They wanted to reshape Cloudbank into what they envisioned it should be. But it's doing this on its own at this point. It's processing things as it sees fit, not how the Camerata wanted. Red and the Transistor battle against many of the Process's minions, and eventually, a giant creature of the Process known as the Spine arrives. But once Red gets to the top of the tower that Asher and his brother are located in, she discovers that they've committed suicide, unable to cope with what they've done. This only leaves the leader of the Camerata, Royce, for them to defeat. And they travel back to where this all began, to where they can find Royce, and he meets up with them with a robotic face, who he uses as a proxy to propose his deal to them. He wants a truce. The Process is out of control, and he needs the Transistor back so he can stop it. He explains that the Transistor is the remote control that can alter the city of Cloudbank. The city administrators were using it to shape the city in the manner that the people wanted. It allows them to do things like change the weather or add buildings. Royce wants Red to use the Transistor to stop the Process and reshape the city back to normal. She silently agrees and she walks forward to the cradle, which will allow her to reshape the city to where it should be. But once she puts it in, she and Royce are sucked into the Transistor's virtual world. Royce explains that only one of them can leave to reshape the city as they see fit. He apologizes that it's come to this, and they begin their battle, until Red defeats him. She leaves him inside the Transistor world, and she warps back to Cloudbank. The rebuilding process begins, and the evil Process has officially been stopped. But after all that they've been through, Red still won't get her voice back, and she can't put the man back from inside the Transistor back into his body. So, as he yells for her not to do it, to just put the Transistor down and walk away, she impales herself next to the man's body. And it's at this time that we learn the truth. The man was Red's lover, and she just couldn't live without him. But inside of the Transistor and the virtual world, she has her voice again, and she has him. Thank you guys for joining me on this today, and if you want to talk about this video or any other video on our channel, please follow us on Twitter @EligibleMonster. And don't forget, we are doing the Uncharted series right now, and we're going to be doing DMC along with its comic books and its DLC. I hope to see you guys there. I'm Benny for Eligible Monster, and I'll see you guys next time.